If your Excel import data wizard is missing, you're not imagining it. The buttons and menus can change, and suddenly, a simple CSV import turns into a messy paste job. The real problem is control. You need to tell Excel what the delimiter is, what the text encoding is, and which columns must stay as text. Without that legacy wizard, Excel may guess wrong and quietly damage your data. Think of long IDs losing leading zeros, dates flipping formats, or commas and semicolons being misread. The good news is, you can usually restore the classic text import wizard. And even if you can't, you still have reliable alternatives that give you the same control. Over the next few minutes, you'll get a clear checklist. First, we'll confirm what missing really means. Then, we'll turn the legacy wizard back on. After that, we'll walk through the import steps that prevent the most common data corruption. By the end, you'll be able to import CSV files confidently, without Excel helping in the background. Next step. Let's get specific about what you're trying to restore. The classic experience is the text import wizard that walks you through 3 stages. You choose delimited or fixed width. You pick the delimiter like comma, tab, or semicolon. Then you set each column's data type, like general, text, or date. That last step is the lifesaver, because it stops Excel from auto-converting. When people say it's missing, they usually mean one of 3 things. Option 1, double-clicking a CSV opens it instantly with no prompts. Option 2, the data tab import path sends you into a different tool that feels more complex. Option 3, the old from text command is gone or renamed. Each case has a slightly different fix. So the goal is not nostalgia. The goal is predictable imports, where you control encoding, delimiters, and column types. Once you frame it that way, it's easier to choose the right restore method. Next step. Before changing anything, it helps to know why Excel behaves this way. Excel has 2 different import philosophies. One is the legacy wizard, built for hands-on control. The other is a modern import pipeline that tries to detect formats automatically and can connect to many data sources. That modern approach is powerful, but for simple CSV files, it can be too eager. It may interpret text as dates, strip leading zeros, or convert large numbers into scientific notation. It can also misread characters if the file is UTF-8 and Excel assumes a different encoding. The key point is this: the missing wizard problem is often a settings choice, not a broken installation. Excel may be configured to skip the legacy prompts for CSV files, or your organization may have a default that favors the newer import tool. Restoring the legacy wizard brings back the familiar 3-step control, especially for text and CSV imports where precision matters more than automation. Next step. Now to the main fix, enabling the legacy text import wizard. In Excel, this is typically controlled through options. You're looking for a setting that mentions legacy data import wizards. When enabled, Excel brings back commands like from text, legacy, or from text CSV, legacy, depending on the version. If you manage multiple machines, this is the cleanest fix because it restores a consistent workflow. After you enable it, close and reopen Excel to make sure the UI refreshes. Then check the Data tab again for the legacy command. If you still don't see it, don't panic. Some builds expose it under a slightly different label or behind a Get Data dropdown. The important outcome is that you can launch a step-by-step wizard where you choose delimiter, encoding, and column data types. That's the control you're restoring. Next, we'll use it in a way that prevents the most common import errors. Next step. Once the wizard is back, use it with a defensive mindset. Step 1 is choosing the right file type and the right origin, meaning the character encoding. If your data includes accents, non-Latin characters, or special symbols, encoding matters. UTF-8 is common, but not universal. Step 2 is delimiter selection. Comma is common in the US, while semicolon is common in many European locales. If the delimiter is wrong, every row collapses into one column or splits in the wrong places. Step 3 is column data types. This is where you prevent silent damage. Any column that contains IDs, postal codes, phone numbers, or account numbers should usually be set to text. That preserves leading zeros and prevents scientific notation. Dates should be set carefully too, because day-month order varies. The wizard is only useful if you actually override Excel's guesses. Think of it as data hygiene, not extra work. Next step. Let's zoom in on the biggest pain point: leading zeros and long identifiers. Excel is a spreadsheet, not a database, so it loves turning anything numeric into a number. That's exactly what you don't want for product codes, employee IDs, invoice numbers, or zip codes. The moment Excel converts them, you can lose zeros at the front. You can also lose precision on very long numbers because Excel stores numbers with a fixed precision. The legacy wizard prevents this if you set that column to text during import. If you already imported and the damage is done, formatting the column as text won't bring the zeros back. You'd need the original source or a reconstruction rule. So the best practice is simple. Treat identifiers as text from the start. When in doubt, choose text. It's safer to keep a true number as text than to permanently alter an identifier by autoconversion. Next step. Next, dates. Because CSV files don't actually store a date type. They store characters that look like dates. Excel then guesses what those characters mean based on regional settings and patterns. That's how you end up with March 4th becoming April 3rd or a date becoming plain text. In the legacy wizard, you can set a column to date and specify the order, like DMY or MDY. That single choice prevents a lot of downstream confusion. Another safe approach is importing dates as text, then converting them explicitly with a formula once you've confirmed the pattern. That adds a step, but it makes the conversion intentional and auditable. Also, watch for timestamps with time zones or ISO formats like 2026-05-12. Those often import better as text first, then you parse them. The theme is the same. Don't let Excel guess when the cost of being wrong is high. Next step. Now let's handle encoding and strange characters. If you've ever seen names turn into question marks or accented letters break, that's usually an encoding mismatch. CSV is just bytes plus an assumption about how to interpret them. UTF-8 is common for exports from web systems. Older Windows tools may output ANSI or a local code page. The legacy wizard lets you choose an origin or file encoding, so the preview looks correct before you commit. If the preview is wrong, stop and try a different encoding choice. Another tip is to avoid opening a CSV by double-clicking, because that path often skips encoding choices. Importing through the wizard gives you a chance to verify. If your organization uses consistent exports, document the correct encoding and delimiter as a standard. That turns a recurring mystery into a repeatable procedure. Clean characters are not cosmetic. They affect matching, filtering, and downstream systems. Next step. Sometimes the wizard is enabled, but CSV still opens without it. That's because there are multiple ways to bring data into Excel. Double-clicking a CSV uses the default open behavior, which may bypass the wizard entirely. The more reliable method is to start inside Excel and import the file through the Data tab. Another workaround is renaming the file extension temporarily, for example from .csv to .txt, then importing it as a text file. That often forces the wizard path and gives you delimiter and column controls. You can rename it back later if needed. This trick is especially useful when Excel insists on applying its own CSV heuristics. Just remember that the file content doesn't change, only how Excel chooses to handle it. If you use this approach, keep a copy of the original file name for traceability. The goal is consistency. Same steps, same result, every time you import. Next step. If you can't restore the legacy wizard, the next best option is using Excel's modern import tool in a controlled way. Many people know it as Get Data or Power Query. The interface is different, but the principle is the same. You define delimiter, encoding, and data types before loading into the sheet. The big advantage is repeatability. You can refresh the import when a new CSV arrives without redoing every step. The trade-off is that it's one more layer between you and the data, and it can feel heavy for small one-off files. Still, for recurring reports, it's often the most reliable method. You can explicitly set column types to text, prevent automatic type detection, and even clean up inconsistent rows. So if the legacy wizard is unavailable due to policy or version limits, don't settle for double-click imports. Use a query-based import and lock down the rules once. Next step. Let's talk about a practical import checklist you can apply to any CSV. First, Confirm the delimiter by opening the file in a plain text editor, not a word processor. You're looking for commas, semicolons, tabs, or pipes. Second, spot check for quotes around fields, because quoted commas should not split columns. Third, identify columns that must remain text, like IDs and codes. Fourth, identify columns that look like dates, and decide whether to import as date with the correct order or as text for later conversion. Fifth, check for non-ASCII characters, which is your hint that encoding matters. Finally, after import, validate with quick tests. Count rows, check a few known IDs for leading zeros, and filter for blanks where you expect values. This sounds like extra work, but it's faster than debugging a broken report later. A 2-minute validation step can save hours of cleanup and prevent incorrect decisions based on corrupted data. Next step. Now a few common edge cases that trip people up. One is mixed data in a column, like numbers and text combined. Excel may choose a type that fits the first rows and ruins the rest. Another is thousands separators and decimal symbols. A value like 1.234,56 means different things in different locales. CSV exports may also include extra spaces after delimiters, which can break matching unless trimmed. And watch for line breaks inside quoted fields, like an address that spans 2 lines. That's valid CSV, that some import paths handle it poorly. The legacy wizard can handle many of these cases, but it still depends on correct delimiter and quote handling. If you repeatedly receive messy CSVs, consider asking for a more structured export, like a tab-delimited file or a consistent UTF-8 CSV with a documented schema. Excel can work with imperfect data, but you'll get better results when the export format is stable and well-defined. Next step. To wrap this up, the core idea is simple. Importing CSV is not just opening a file, it's a conversion step, and you want to control that conversion. If the Excel Import Data Wizard is missing, enable the Legacy Text Import Wizard in Options, so you can choose encoding, delimiter, and column types. Use it especially for IDs, codes, and sensitive date columns. If the Legacy Wizard can't be restored, switch to a query-based import and define the rules there. Either way, adopt a quick validation habit after import, so errors don't hide in plain sight. If you want one decision rule to remember, it's this. When a column must not change, import it as text. If this walkthrough helped, subscribe for more practical Excel workflows that prevent quiet data mistakes. And for a quick check-in, comment with your situation. Are you fighting more with A, leading zeros, or B, date conversions? I'm always testing new ways to work smarter. Subscribe to see what workflow I'm breaking down next.